This video is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Piracy is illegal and has serious consequences. I do not encourage or condone piracy in any form. Always support creators and developers by purchasing games legally whenever possible. Alright, let's talk about piracy. No, not the eye patch wearing parrot on the shoulder type. I'm talking about the kind of piracy that involves downloading video games illegally. Now, we all know it's wrong, technically, legally, morally, but let's be honest, we've all thought about it. You see a new game coming out, it looks incredible, but then you see the price tag, $60. And that's just the beginning. You're looking at DLC, season passes, skins, microtransactions. Suddenly your $60 game is costing as much as your rent. Why is piracy bad? Well, on a fundamental level, it's stealing. Developers pour years of work into these games, and when you pirate one, you're basically taking it without compensating them. Imagine you're working on a big project, putting in late nights, sacrificing time, and then when it's finally done, people just start taking it for free. It's not fair, right? You want to be paid for your hard work. Believe me, Monica wasn't happy when I finished my business and left without paying. So, when you download a game illegally, it's like you're walking into a store, picking something off the shelf, and walking out without paying. You wouldn't do that, right? Well, maybe my subscribers would, but that's not the point. Now, here's where it gets a bit more complicated. Let's talk about the price of games. $60 for a new game might have been reasonable a decade ago, but nowadays it feels like that's just the entry fee. And let's face it, not everyone can afford to drop that kind of money on a game. Maybe you're a student working part-time and you've got bills to pay. Maybe you've got a family and there are more important things to spend your money on. The reality is, for many people, gaming is a luxury they simply can't afford. And when you finally save money to buy the game, it makes you do some shit mini quest so it will feel like a 100-hour game. The industry doesn't make it easier either. Prices keep climbing, and the content you get for that price often feels like less than what you got in the past. Back in the day, you'd pay for a game, and that was it. Now it's $60 just to get in the door, and then you got a whole menu of add-ons waiting for you. Want the full experience? That'll be another $30 for the season pass. $50 for that shiny new skin, and who knows how much for the DLC. By the end of it, you're way past $100, and that's assuming you're not dealing with microtransactions designed to drain your wallet $1 at a time. But it's not just about the price. Sometimes it's about accessibility. Certain games aren't available everywhere. Maybe a game you're excited about is region locked or never even makes it to your country. Maybe the price in your region is inflated because of local taxes or currency conversion. For some people, pirating isn't just about saving money. It's about getting access to something they can't buy, even if they want to. Hi, quick break. If you liked the video so far, hit that subscribe button, press like, and don't forget to click the bell so you can stay updated with more content about the stuff that makes me angry. And then there's the issue of quality, just like my ex-wife. You pay $60 for a game and you'd expect it to be a complete polished product, right? But in today's world, it's all too common for games to launch in a buggy, broken state. You buy a game on day one, and suddenly you're more of a beta tester than a player. Glitches, crashes, missing features, you name it. Developers promise patches, and sometimes they deliver, but you've already paid. For some people, if they're going to be treated like a beta tester, they feel they shouldn't have to pay full price for the privilege. Let's talk about indie games. Unlike big corporations that have millions to spend on marketing and development, indie developers are usually small teams or even individuals. They're working on shoestring budgets, often putting everything they have into their games. For them, every sale counts. When you pirate an indie game, you're not just sticking it to the man, you're hurting someone who's probably making a lot less money than you think. Indie games often cost less too, so if there's ever a time to put your money where your mouth is, it's with the little guys. Supporting indie devs helps keep the industry diverse and creative. If we keep pirating these smaller titles, we risk losing the very things that make gaming exciting and fresh. It's like watching someone bully the kid in a wheelchair and deciding to join in. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. What about those mega corporations? They're swimming in cash. Who cares if they lose a few sales? And yeah, there's some truth to that. A giant like EA or Activision isn't going to collapse because you pirated their latest release. But it's not just about them. When piracy becomes rampant, companies react. They start implementing more aggressive DRM, They rely more on microtransactions, and they put less trust in their customers. Essentially, the more people pirate, the more these companies feel justified in making the gaming experience worse for everyone. But let's address another perspective. Sometimes piracy is a form of protest. It's a way of saying, we're tired of your pricing, your shady practices, and your half-baked releases. It's not the right way to go about it, but it sends a message. People pirate games to show that they're fed up. They're voting with their downloads, telling the industry that they're not willing to pay top dollar for something that doesn't deliver. So while piracy isn't the answer, it's a symptom of a bigger problem. A problem that the gaming industry needs to address if it wants to stay relevant. Subscription services like Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus might look good at first, offering a huge library of games for a monthly fee. But the reality is, while there's a lot of quantity, there isn't always a lot of quality. Sure, there are tons of titles to choose from, but are they the games you want to play? No. It's easy to get excited about access to hundreds of games, but if most of them aren't interesting or are just filler, the value starts to drop. It's like walking into a strip club just to sit there and enjoy the music, ignoring the girls. In a perfect world, piracy wouldn't exist. Games would be affordable, accessible, and high quality. But we don't live in that world. We live in a world where a new game can cost as much as a week's worth of groceries, where companies drip feed us content behind paywalls, and where the only way to experience certain games is to take matters into your own hands. So next time you think about pirating a game, take a moment to consider the bigger picture. Ask yourself why you're doing it. Is it because you can't afford it? Because you feel like the industry is taking advantage of you? Or is it just easier? There's no right answer, but being aware of the impact your choices have is a step in the right direction.